If you've ever thought, oh my god, I've done a million random things, I do not have a clear purpose, you're not lost, okay? You're just layered and probably multipassionate like me. You do not need to start over, you just need to connect the dots. There's a through line running under your whole life. I call it your gold thread, the thing that's always been you, even when the jobs, the hobbies, or the eras changed. You're watching episode 4, the last one, of Finding Your Spark, the cozy, introspective part of Becoming Her. If you're new here, welcome. Becoming Her is my new series. It's a 4-month journey of self-discovery, reinvention, and building the life you cannot stop dreaming about. Becoming Her is more than just a winter or glow up. It's a full life reinvention. Over 4 months, we'll move through the seasons of transformation, slowing down to rediscover yourself, stepping into your main character energy, designing your dream life, and actually learning how to stick with it when the hype fades. This is your official invitation to stop waiting, stop settling, and start becoming the version you've always known you could be. So today we're going to untangle your story and find that thread. Then we'll turn it into a simple mission that you can carry into November's main character era and obviously beyond. This is the episode that multipotentialites, multipassionates usually avoid because they're scared that they'll have to pick one thing forever. Spoiler, you will not. Your thread is your core belief, but you can express that core belief in many different ways. And those ways can obviously change over time. I will guide you step by step today, so grab a notebook or a Notion page and let's get into it. Okay, so first of all, what is the gold thread? Your gold thread is the repeating essence of how you move through the world and the value that you create when you're at your best. It often shows up as recurring verbs, what you do, energies, how it feels, and impact, what it gives others. Some examples of threads could be turning chaos into clarity, transforming identity into expression, making people feel brave enough to begin, building systems that set people free, finding beauty in the everyday, and helping other people see it too. Just a little psychology note here, humans are narrative creatures. The brain compresses messy events into themes so life just makes sense, okay? We're just decoding the theme your brain has been writing all along in this episode. Okay, so now that you know basically what the gold thread is, we're gonna map your story. And we're gonna use ChatGPT as our clarity partner because it is actually super hard to do it ourselves. We tend to not be able to take a step back from the situations and see the gold thread, so we need some help. So yeah, if you've ever tried to find your purpose and ended up more confused than before, that's not your fault, okay? You're just too close to your own story to see the patterns. So as I said, we're going to use ChatGPT because AI, if you didn't know, it's not just for writing emails or captions, okay? When used right, it's a mirror for your brain. It helps you see yourself clearer and organize all of the chaos of your experiences into something coherent. So today we're going to use my best friend Chatty, as I call him, to find your gold thread, which is that invisible line that's been running through your entire life. And trust me, once you find it, everything else in your Becoming Her journey will just click. Okay, so how do you find your gold thread? Step 1, get your story out of your head. Go for a walk, open your notes app, and turn on voice mode. And you're gonna talk out loud about your story, about your life. It can be messy, chaotic, unfiltered, really. Just say what comes to your mind. You can also write instead of speak, obviously, but I find it easier and quicker to just yap about my life than just sit down and write about it. So obviously, I'm gonna help you and guide you with some questions so that you don't get stuck with the blank page fear. Think about what you loved doing as a kid, your natural interests and obsessions. How did you spend your free time without being told? What were the compliments that you kept hearing? Think about the moments at school or in early adulthood when you felt in your element. What were the projects you loved, roles you took without the title, problems that you couldn't help fixing? You can mention your school degrees and your work experiences and also what you liked about them and what you didn't like. You can also talk about side projects or creative hobbies that lit you up or, on the contrary, that drained you. Think about the moments where you felt, oh my god, this is so me. The times where people came to you for help with the same thing. Think about what energizes you right now. The people, the books, the art, the creators, the aesthetic you're constantly drawn to. what you could talk about for hours without getting bored, the work or the task that feel suspiciously easy that you can do without even thinking. And please do not edit yourself, okay? Do not filter yourself. Don't overthink it. Just talk like you're telling your life story to a best friend who's trying to understand who you are. I know there is a voice mode in ChatGPT directly, but I advise you to do this in your Notes app and not directly in the ChatGPT app, because I've had times where ChatGPT just cut me off in the middle of my voice note and I lost it all. I had been yapping for 10 minutes and it just cut me off and lost everything. So I would say it's safer to do it in your Notes app and then paste the transcript into ChatGPT. Once you're done, you just, as I said, copy the transcript of all of your yapping and paste it into a new ChatGPT conversation. And that leads us to step 2, where we're gonna ask Chatty to find our patterns. The thing is, most people try to find their goal thread by journaling forever, but ChatGPT can process your entire life story in seconds and highlight what your brain's been trying to tell you for years. We're going to use it as a pattern spotter, strategist, and reflection partner. So I'm going to share the prompt that you're going to copy paste into the ChatGPT conversation with your text. I'll put it up on the screen right here, but know that you can find it in the description box below so that you can just copy paste it easy. So if you're wondering why this works better than journaling or just thinking about it yourself, it's because ChatGPT doesn't get emotionally attached to your past, okay? So it can see what you cannot see. It notices your recurring verbs like create, teach, connect, build. It notices the energy that you bring, calming, bold, visionary, ambitious, and the impact that you keep having without even realizing it. So clarity, courage, freedom, beauty, whatever it's going to be for you. By doing that, we're basically turning AI into a mirror that reveals your essence. Not a label, not a job title, but how you naturally change rooms and people. And that is your goal thread. So I'm just going to quickly share with you 3 examples of goal threads. I translate messy identity into bold self-expression for creative women so that they feel seen and unstoppable. I design simple systems for overwhelmed founders so that they can finally focus on what matters. I make scary beginnings feel safe for creators so they actually start. That's the kind of goal thread, the kind of mission statement we're gonna find out here. Okay, so once you have the first answer of ChatGPT, you're gonna read the outputs that it gives you and you're gonna pick the one that feels like, holy shit, this is so me. Now is the time to feel free to tweak the words so that they sound like something you would actually say. Once you have that, we're gonna ask ChatGPT to expand it into your mission for the next 12 months. I will again share a prompt on the screen and in the description below so that you can copy paste it easily. And doing this gives your goal thread direction, okay? It turns who am I into what am I doing with this? So it will feel less like discovering something new and more like remembering something you forgot. Just so you know, I have done this whole process myself. So I wanted to share my personal experience very quickly of finding my goal thread. Looking back, every project that I have ever started has been about the same thing. Helping women stop hiding, showing them that they're powerful, ambitious, and capable of more, and inspiring them to build a life that they don't want to escape from. If you don't really know me, I launched many businesses, and each was a reflection of the season I was in. They all felt disconnected from one another, but actually each one carried the same gold thread. I've launched a witchy box brand, encouraging women to reveal their inner magic. I've launched a productivity and organization business for multipassionates, teaching them how to stop sabotaging their potential. I've run a business coaching practice grounded in creating a business that fuels your dream life and not drains it. And finally, I've started a personal branding agency where I help women become the star of their niche and rally fans around their personality. So, witchy box brand, productivity and organization, business coaching, personal branding agency. Each project was very different, but all were about the same thing: potential, ambition, and freedom. As you can see, my mission never changed, okay? The packaging did, the job titles did, but at the core, it's always been about one thing: helping ambitious women achieve their potential, become the main character of their story, and create a dream life they're obsessed with on their own terms. So this is my goal thread, and this can express itself in many different ways, but every project, every business that I'm gonna launch or create in my whole life will always revolve around this. So once you did all that, if you want to go a little deeper, which I would always advise you to, we're going to move on to step 4. You can ask a few more questions to ChatGPT after that. Again, I'm going to copy paste them on screen and in the description box below. They're the exact same questions that I use when I feel lost or unclear. And by asking those kinds of deeper questions where you're trying to see the patterns, the limiting beliefs, the things that are not explicitly said but are implied, the things where you're being vague, etc. This is how ambitious women use AI, okay? They don't use it as the simple intern, but they use it as a strategist for their vision. So now you should have your goal thread, okay? You should know exactly what you've been up to your whole life, even if your projects were very different. By the end of this exercise with ChatGPT, you will have a few sentences that describe the essence of who you are, a clear mission for your next chapter, and fresh ideas for content or projects that align with your mission. I strongly recommend to save that chat, okay? Copy paste the responses in a Notion page. When I work on something like this that is very fundamental, I usually copy paste all the responses in a Notion page that I can keep, because this will be your reference point every time you pivot, you doubt yourself, or you wonder, okay, what's next? Your goal thread doesn't change, okay? Only the medium does. So your goal thread tells you who you are underneath the noise. Your mission tells you what you're doing with it next. And the next 4 episodes of this series is where we act like it, okay? We're gonna work on presence, confidence, personal brand, the alter ego you lead with. This episode is the bridge between what you want and how you're gonna embody it. I challenge you to drop your goal thread statement in the comments. I do want to be inspired by all of them and see how your talent can help the world around you. We're closing October here with this video if you're watching in real time when I'm posting. If you've been following the series up until now, you have acknowledged where you're at in life right now with the life audit. You've rekindled your spark with some rituals and routines. You cut the leaks by learning how to set boundaries. And now you know your thread and your mission. If for some reason you haven't seen the 3 previous videos that I've just mentioned, I will link them in the description box below. Don't forget also that you have all the ChatGPT prompts in there. Next week I am so excited because we're entering our becoming the main character era. You're gonna learn everything you need to create your future self and how to step into the room as her. You really do not want to miss it, so subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when it's out so we can continue this journey together. Thanks for tuning in today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!